March 8, 2014. In the stillness of the night, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 souls prepares for a routine flight from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. Among its passengers are families, business travelers, tourists, and crew members, each with their own plans, hopes, and dreams. Some are returning home after vacations, others are embarking on new adventures. Some carry burdens of work, others carry the joy of reuniting with loved ones. For everyone aboard, the expectation is simple: a short, uneventful flight. A flight that, like countless others before it, will carry them safely across borders and skies. The time is just after midnight. The night sky is calm, punctuated by distant stars that seem to stretch infinitely across the darkness. The airport hums quietly with activity, a low, constant rumble of other departing flights, the muted chatter of controllers in the tower, the occasional roar of engines breaking the stillness. Flight MH370 taxis smoothly toward the runway, its lights cutting through the darkness like a promise, a beacon of the journey ahead. In these moments, there is nothing to suggest the ordinary flight will become extraordinary. Nothing hints at the enigma that will grip the world within hours. Yet, in the early hours of that March night, what begins as a standard commercial journey will transform into one of the most baffling, haunting mysteries of modern aviation. Flight MH370 will vanish, without warning, without explanation, no distress signal, no emergency squawk, no wreckage, only questions, and a void that stretches across oceans, continents, and even into the collective imagination of humanity. It is a stark reminder of how fragile our understanding of the modern world can be, even in an age dominated by satellites, radar, and instant communication. At precisely 12:41 a.m. local time, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 takes off. The Boeing 777-200ER, a symbol of engineering reliability and modern aviation, lifts off the runway and ascends smoothly into the night. At the controls is Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a seasoned pilot whose experience spans decades and over 18,000 flight hours. Calm, meticulous, and confident, Zahari embodies the professionalism passengers trust when they step onto a modern aircraft. His career has been marked by precision and dedication, qualities that give reassurance to everyone aboard. Beside him sits First Officer Farik Hamid, just 27 years old, completing one of his final training flights before gaining full command responsibility. Farik's demeanor is polite and steady, his voice measured and professional. The last known words from MH370, transmitted over the radio, are his: "Good night, Malaysian 370." Words that, at the time, feel routine, almost mundane, a simple confirmation of an ordinary flight. Little did anyone know that this seemingly benign phrase would soon mark the last human communication with a plane that would vanish from the world. As the aircraft climbs to its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, everything appears normal. The engines hum consistently, the flight systems function flawlessly, and passengers settle into the rhythm of a typical overnight journey. The Boeing 777 is renowned for its safety record, a near-perfect emblem of modern aviation. In these moments, the night is tranquil, the flight unremarkable, and the air filled with nothing more than expectation. Then, at 1:19 a.m., everything changes. MH370 disappears from civilian radar. Controllers in Malaysia and neighboring countries watch, puzzled and alarmed, as the aircraft ceases to appear on screens where its position should have been clearly visible. There is no warning, no hint of emergency, just a blank space, a void, and the immediate realization that something is deeply wrong. In the span of minutes, a routine flight transforms into a mystery that will captivate the world for years to come. Initial confusion spreads quickly through air traffic control centers. Ho Chi Minh City authorities attempt to contact MH370. Calls go unanswered. The aircraft's transponder, a device essential for communicating location, altitude, and flight data to radar systems, is suddenly inactive. Vietnam notifies Malaysian authorities, and questions multiply. Military radar soon detects an anomaly, an aircraft turning sharply west, retracing a path across the Malaysian peninsula. Its signature, speed, and size match those of the Boeing 777 that had taken off just minutes earlier. Why the sudden deviation? Why the transponder silence? In the annals of aviation, deviations from flight plans are rare and usually linked to emergencies. Yet, in this case, there is no distress signal, no hint of fire, decompression, or mechanical failure. The plane seems to have vanished deliberately or under circumstances that remain entirely unknown. In these early hours, investigators, air traffic controllers, and family members are left to grasp at fragments of data. Each piece offers more questions than answers. And as the reality sets in, the first chilling truth emerges. This will not be a simple accident. By dawn, the global reaction is one of disbelief. Malaysia Airlines issues a statement. Flight MH370 is missing. Families rush to Beijing's airport, their eyes wide with fear, their hearts gripped by anxiety. They clutch phones, desperately seeking updates. There are no messages, no reassurances, only a growing silence that will stretch over days, weeks, and eventually years. Search teams mobilize immediately. The skies and waters of Southeast Asia become a sprawling search grid. The South China Sea, the Gulf of Thailand, the Straits of Malacca. Ships, aircraft, and satellites comb every possible path the plane might have taken. Hours stretch into days. Days stretch into weeks. Yet there is nothing. No debris, no trace of fire, no fragment to mark the passage of MH370 across the oceans. Only an empty sky and a vast, indifferent sea. For aviation experts, media outlets, and governments, the disappearance of MH370 defies understanding. In a world of satellites, GPS tracking, and constant communication, an entire commercial jet, with 239 lives on board, has vanished without a trace. The implications are staggering. How could this happen? How could a plane simply disappear into thin air in the modern era? Days pass, hope begins to wane, and the search feels increasingly desperate. Then, a breakthrough emerges from an unexpected source. The British company Inmarsat, specializing in satellite communications, reveals that its satellites detected handshakes, small signals exchanged with MH370, long after it disappeared from radar. These pings indicate something extraordinary. MH370 continued to fly for nearly 7 hours after losing contact with air traffic control. It did not crash immediately. It did not experience catastrophic failure. The plane, it seems, continued its journey silently into uncharted territory. Two potential flight paths emerge from the data, one heading north towards Central Asia, the other south into the remote expanses of the Indian Ocean. Detailed analysis, factoring in satellite arcs and ocean currents, overwhelmingly favors the southern trajectory. Investigators conclude that the Boeing 777 likely traveled thousands of miles into one of the most isolated stretches of ocean on Earth. a place nearly unreachable for rescue or recovery operations. This revelation brings both hope and frustration. For the investigators, it confirms that the plane existed beyond the initial disappearance, a lifeline of data to follow. Yet, it also deepens the mystery. The aircraft did not vanish instantaneously. It remained aloft for hours, its ultimate fate occurring far from human reach. As with any mystery of this magnitude, theories abound. Investigators and analysts consider every scenario, weighing possibilities and eliminating implausibilities. Mechanical failure is a natural assumption. Could the aircraft have suffered a critical malfunction? The evidence suggests otherwise. The Boeing 777 continued to operate normally for hours, its advanced systems capable of handling extraordinary stress. No signs of fire, decompression, or other catastrophic failures are evident. Hijacking is another consideration. Could terrorists have seized the plane? Perhaps. Yet, no organization claims responsibility, no manifesto surfaces, no ransom demand is issued. The scenario seems inconsistent with known patterns of hijacking or terrorism. Some experts consider onboard medical emergencies or a sudden incapacitation of the crew. Others propose deliberate human intervention. Flight path analysis suggests the plane may have been manually rerouted, its course programmed into the flight computer. If true, the implications are chilling. Could someone in the cockpit have made a conscious decision that led to this disappearance? Captain Zahari, the respected pilot, comes under scrutiny. Was it possible that he orchestrated the plane's disappearance? Some analysts suggest the possibility. Others caution against drawing conclusions without concrete evidence. And yet, in the absence of answers, such speculation becomes unavoidable. The result is a landscape of tantalizing, terrifying possibilities. Every theory is partial, every explanation incomplete. And the fundamental question remains: what truly happened on that night over the South China Sea? For years, hope of finding physical evidence seems almost impossible. Then, in 2015, a breakthrough occurs. A piece of aircraft wing, a flaperon, washes ashore on Réunion Island, near Madagascar. Authorities confirm the fragment belongs to MH370. For the first time, the disappearance moves from abstract speculation to tangible reality. The plane did indeed crash, its remains scattered across a vast and remote ocean. In subsequent years, additional debris is discovered along distant shores: Mozambique, Tanzania, Mauritius, and more. Each fragment offers a glimpse into the tragedy, a physical confirmation of what had previously existed only in data and theory. Yet the main wreckage, the fuselage, engines, and black boxes, remains hidden beneath miles of ocean. The keys to understanding the final moments of Flight MH370 remain elusive, buried in the darkness of the deep sea. Search operations continue, becoming some of the largest and most expensive in aviation history. Sonar sweeps, autonomous underwater vehicles, and deep-sea mapping technologies comb the ocean floor. Yet the sheer scale of the southern Indian Ocean challenges every effort. It is a stark reminder of both the immensity of our planet and the limits of human reach. The disappearance of MH370 sent shockwaves through the aviation world and beyond. Airlines, regulators, and governments implemented new measures to enhance tracking of aircraft over oceans. Satellites, transponders, and emergency response systems were upgraded. The world demanded accountability, and technology evolved to meet that demand. Yet for the families of the 239 people aboard, progress offered little comfort. The questions remain. Why did it happen? Could it have been prevented? Could their loved ones have been saved? Grief is enduring, and the answers scarce. The event reshaped assumptions about safety, technology, and the limits of human understanding. Even in an era of unparalleled connectivity, where real-time tracking and monitoring are standard, a modern jetliner vanished. It was a reminder that, no matter how advanced we become, there remain pockets of darkness, unknowns that defy reason and control. More than a decade has passed, yet MH370 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in human history. The final chapter remains unwritten, the ultimate truth perhaps forever out of reach. Every piece of debris, every satellite ping, every new analysis brings us closer to understanding, yet the complete story eludes us. Somewhere, deep beneath the ocean waves, lie the answers. For those following the story, it is a call to perseverance and humility. The pursuit of truth is rarely immediate. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to confront uncertainty. Often, it is the search itself, the careful examination of fragments, the challenging of assumptions, that yields insight and meaning. Flight MH370 reminds us of our limitations, but also of our capacity to seek understanding. It is a story of technology, tragedy, mystery, and the enduring human desire to make sense of the incomprehensible. If this story moved you, if it sparked curiosity and reflection, follow TrueMediaTV for more real-life accounts that challenge assumptions and illuminate mysteries. Because sometimes, reality is stranger than fiction, far more unsettling, infinitely more fascinating, and eternally compelling.